Phil and Jan by Lee Brady. Setting: Phil and Jan sit at a table in a cross-country train.
This is our first long train trip. Probably our last. Phil's bored. Oh, yes, you are. You know you are. He keeps looking at his watch and then the schedule.
2 hours late.
He can't wait to get back home and make money.
I need to after this trip. Cost a mint.
We visited our daughter in Venice, California. Her husband works in the industry. That's what they call it. And she's writing a movie. Wouldn't give us a peek at it.
Probably X-rated.
Dennis is, that's for sure. Why, there are things going on in the street we don't do behind locked doors. Not that we're shocked. We've seen it all, haven't we, Phil?
Our daughters do it all.
I always say, motherhood has taken me down roads I never meant to travel. But we brought them up to take chances, didn't we, Phil?
You did.
Phil, you've just forgotten. Why, Phil was the most adventurous man in high school. And at the university, too. Always doing some crazy thing. First one to join the Peace Corps, went to Indonesia, came back and ran for political office. I could barely keep up with him back then. When did you stop, Phil? When?
What?
When did you stop being adventurous?
Look, I came on the stupid train with you, didn't I?
Yes, but you haven't enjoyed a minute
What's
of
to
it.
enjoy? The whole trip has been a forced march to nowhere.
How can you say that, Phil? When we rented that convertible and drove up the coast road, wasn't that fun?
Sure, with the top up and the heater on.
It was cold and clammy. And anyway, I didn't want to get my hair blown away. Oh, but you've got to admit, the ocean was gorgeous, wasn't it, Phil?
Yeah. When did you stop, Jen?
Stop what?
Being adventurous.
Well, I never was.
Remember the time you drove to Mexico?
I had to. You were working. Our daughter, Brenda, was teaching at this snooty private school down there. She taught English. She didn't speak any Spanish, which sounds strange, I know. But by the time she left, she was speaking it better than the natives. Brenda was adventurous.
Especially
always.
with men.
Now, Phil, they were nice. The ones she met, rich too. Why, she took me to this one party, way out in the country, and a big hacienda with tons of servants and sheep and parties going on for weeks at a time. Like that movie, oh, you know the one, oh, with Meryl Streep. Not in Mexico, but someplace like, oh, I just loved it.
I thought you were coming back.
In the House of the Spirits, that was it. I was tempted.
Why did you?
I loved you. Oh, Phil, that was 20 years ago. And anyway, it was Brenda's adventure, not mine.
How about that super camp you went off to while I was at the MLA conference?
Oh, now that was fun. Swinging through trees. Ah!
Jen!
Oh, sorry. Even that was years ago.
The year I got tenure.
Where does it go, you think?
What?
I don't know. Courage. What happens to courage?
Maybe it becomes good sense?
I hate to think so.
Look, Jan.
No, really. I hate to think I'll be stuck in Valparaiso, Indiana for the rest of my life.
Valparaiso's nice.
Valparaiso bores me to death.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere, everywhere. Venice, Mexico, Indonesia, the North Pole.
Grow up, Jan.
I did, Phil. That's just what I did.
Looks at the menu.
So, what are you going to have?
Is there anything new?
Well, let me see.
Let's get off the train the very next time it stops.
Start over?
A new beginning.
You and me in Loveland, Colorado. Sure, I will get a job as a messenger boy.
And I'll work in a hat shop.
And we'll rent a room of a restaurant and live on throwaway.
And love, Phil. Don't forget love.
In Loveland?
You can write your novel.
On a yellow pad, and you can be...
Your inspiration. Oh, he'll be a huge success.
I will dedicate it to you.
I'll give up the hat job.
We'll move to New York.
Or the South Pole.
We can do whatever we want.
We already can.
Do whatever we want.
After all, the girls are doing fine.
They don't need us.
And they really don't need you at the college.
I know, but...
They're all waiting for you to retire so they can hire 2 younger men for half your salary.
Why should I make it easy for them?
How about us?
If I give it up?
My life is a living death. Why not?
Now you are going overboard.
What better reason?
We're not young anymore, Jan.
Still, sitting here, looking out the window, ordering from the same menu 3 times a day. Looking across a table at you while you read this stupid U.S. Today from cover to
It's
cover.
not the Valparaiso Herald, but...
Makes me realize our life is on a track, Phil, just like this train.
And 3 hours late.
We go back and forth, watch the world go by,
Come on, Jan.
wait for the final destination.
You're overreacting.
To what?
To the end of the vacation?
Going home.
Real life?
Virtual death.
Here's the waiter.
So it is. What are you going to have?
I may splurge, have the prime rib. How about you?
Why not? After all, it's our last supper. Waiter, make it rare.
Phil and Jan was produced and directed by Robin Schild. Claudia Rosa performed the role of Jan. And Robin Schild performed the role of Phil.